Grandma always smelled of lavender and old paper, and thread, so much thread, mountains of it spilling from her sewing basket, draping over the arms of her worn armchair. I remember sitting at her feet, a small child, tangling her yarn, playing with the soft scraps of leather she'd let me have. She'd hum old hymns, her nimble fingers flying across the fabric, creating the most beautiful quilts and dolls. But the attic, that was a different story. It was a forbidden place, a shadowy realm where dust motes danced in the single, dim bulb. "Never go up there," she'd say, her voice firm, her eyes clouding over. "It's full of memories." When she passed, the house fell silent, a hollow echo of her presence. Clearing it out was a grim task, each object a painful reminder. I found the key tucked into a velvet pouch inside her old sewing box. It was heavy, ornate, and undeniably the key to the attic. Curiosity, a cold, gnawing thing, drove me up the creaking stairs. The air was thick, heavy, and a strange musky odor hung in the stillness. Dust lay thick on everything, shrouding the room in a ghostly gray. But it wasn't the dust that made my stomach churn. It was what lay beneath it. A lamp, its shade made of what looked like skin. Stretched, taut, dried, and stitched together with thick, dark thread. An outfit, a grotesque patchwork of human flesh, meticulously sewn, the seams puckered and raw. A handbag, its surface leathery and scarred, the texture undeniably human. I stumbled back, my hand flying to my mouth, bile rising in my throat. The room swam, the objects blurring into a horrifying tableau. I forced myself to look closer, to examine the macabre creations. The stitching was precise, almost loving. The pieces of flesh carefully matched and joined. I called the police, my voice trembling, barely a whisper. The scene that unfolded was beyond anything I could have imagined. Forensic teams, their faces grim, descended on the attic. They meticulously collected every gruesome artifact, every scrap of human material. The DNA results were staggering. Each object, each piece of flesh, matched the DNA of individuals who had gone missing over the past 40 years. Over 30 people. My grandma, my sweet, gentle grandma, the woman who smelled of lavender and thread, was one of the most prolific serial killers the country had ever seen. The worst part? The absolute, gut-wrenching horror? I remember the leather scraps, the offcuts, the way she'd always have extra yarn of a dark, almost reddish hue. I remember playing at her feet, touching the very materials she used to create her monstrous art. I remember her humming, her fingers flying, her eyes, now I see, were cold, empty, like the eyes of the dolls she made, dolls I now know were made with human hair. I'm left with the image of her hands moving with practiced ease, her voice soft and soothing as she created her masterpieces. The lavender scent, once comforting, now reeks of death. The thread, once a symbol of her gentle nature, now binds me to a horror I can never escape. And the leather. Oh God, the leather.